Happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter on Sunday, the 9th of April 2023. Today I would like to talk about the Easter story. And I want to talk about how I interpret that Easter story. Now, what I don't want to be doing is trying to explain the event, okay? Lots of people do that. If they want to do that, that's fine. That's not what I'm wanting to talk about. What I want to share with you today is about my interpretation of what that means for me. Not because I want you to have the same interpretation, but I'm just sharing with you my interpretation for me today. Other years might be different, but today this is my experience, my interpretation for me right now, and what you want to take out of that is up to you. Okay, I'm just sharing you my experience. But what I want to talk about is what this means. And Reverend Jeff Ivers, who preached this morning at MCC Sydney, cracking sermon on what it means to be an Easter people. So if you want to find out more about that, come this evening to MCC Sydney service if you're in the Sydney area, or have a look about that. But what I want to talk about is about hope, because I realize that we're living in a world right now that seems that hope is hard to find. We live in a world with a lot of despair and fear, and this is a frightening world. And where are we finding hope? And I believe that for me, the Easter story does offer hope for me. But sometimes people interpret the Easter story to be about what they call substitutionary atonement. And I want to be clear that for me doesn't give me hope. This idea that God sees us as so inherently sinful and broken that had to send his son to die on a cross in a violent death so that we can somehow not be considered as sinful anymore, that doesn't give me hope. That actually increases my fear, that fear of eternal damnation in hell. Like, that doesn't give me hope. Okay, so I'm not saying that that's not a valid interpretation, but that's not what gives me hope in the Easter story today. The Easter story for me gives me hope because it offers a way forward in resolution and redemption. This is joy, everyone. So the reason why it gives me hope is because sin is not about what we do wrong, it's about where we're looking in our lives, and are we actually having a heart that is orientated towards the welfare of others? Or are we doing it for ourselves? And when we turn to ourselves, we end up doing things that are bad.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened to Jesus by the Roman Empire. And so death on the cross for Jesus was all about being defeated by the Roman Empire. So it was really about the sin of humanity resulting in the death of Jesus. But the Easter story says that there's a resurrection, and that means that there's actually a way forward. There's actually a way for us to turn ourselves around.
Excuse me.
Yep.
I know. So ringing the bell.
I know. So I'm going to go and I'm going to have dinner in a wee minute with Anne and everyone else. Okay? Okay. So,
I'm almost there.
You're almost there. You've got your dinner, don't you? You've got your lunch. Yes, you do. You've got some chicken and some...
Cheese.
What's that?
And broccoli.
And broccoli.
But I got trees. I can't trees because that's trees.
They're like trees, aren't they? The broccoli's like trees. They're little mini trees. So you're eating a tree. It's good for you though, isn't it? Yeah. So we turn around when we've got somewhere else to go. So when someone is in a dark place, And they don't have somewhere that they can go. They don't leave that dark place. But the promise of the Easter story is that even in the darkest place, death, there was somewhere else to go. God is saying to us, there is nowhere that you can go that I can't bring you back. No dark place is so dark that I can't bring you back to the light. And that's what the Easter story says to me, that when we turn around, when we turn our orientation away from sin and away back to God, that God can bring us back, always bring us back. God can always offer us hope. God can always bring us to a new life, life in the fullest. And that's what the Easter story means to me. So for this Easter Sunday, I want us to reflect on that, and I want my sharing of that to be offering to you as an offering of hope. That through Easter, we have always got somewhere that we can go.
I ate it all.
You ate it all? Well done. Good lad, good lad.
Now let's get them out.
So happy Easter, everyone. And I hope that that's an offer of hope. And we can talk more about that another time. God bless. Christ is risen. Christ is risen indeed.